What's up, my friends? Hey, so I thought I'd try something out. I'm currently in the process of going through the latest live stream, so editing some stuff together here to kind of, maybe highlight some good questions from the last live stream, which would have been on October 29th of 2020, and put it together as a little highlight video for you guys. We'll kind of test this out, see if this is something maybe I'll continue to do with future live streams, where maybe I'll throw together some really good questions that some of you guys asked during the live stream with some answers that maybe needed for some people that may be curious about a similar type of thing. So let's check out maybe just a handful of some of the questions that I threw into this video to kind of highlight for those of you that maybe missed the live stream or something like that. So check it out. When you get duty station overseas, do they help you learn the language? Sometimes, a lot of time, well, most of the time, yeah. Most of the time you'll do like some kind of cultural awareness at a minimum, and you'll learn a little bit through that. Most of the time you'll start off with like when I went to Korea, we did like this cultural awareness classes where we kind of just got familiarized with like how the culture works. We learned a little bit of basic stuff, but that's about it. Like you won't get like full on educated on like how to fluently speak the language or anything crazy like that. It'll just be like that. We got a super chat. When should be a good time to talk to a recruiter? As in what age? How long before you are waiting to join? 16, 17. I would say like it doesn't necessarily matter so much your age as much as it does like when you're going to graduate from high school kind of a thing, right? So like if you're maybe like your junior year or towards the end of your junior year or the beginning of your senior year, start the conversation, find out what you got to do, make sure you're prepared and you're ready for it, and then you can kind of start the process a little bit probably as you get later into your high school. So it really just depends on like where you're at in high school. But I'd say probably either the end of your junior year, beginning of your senior year, you can possibly start the process then and kind of start like asking questions and start learning about it and kind of, finding out some things from the recruiter. Just finished MEPS yesterday and I got an 11 X-ray contract. Ship out the 28th of December. My question is, what are the chances of getting 11 Bravo as opposed to 11 Charlie? Pretty good. There's no guarantee unless you got in your contract you're gonna be 11 Bravo, but as coming in as 11 X-ray, your odds are still pretty high to 11 Bravo because it's really random. Everybody I've ever talked to that has been 11 X-ray, they literally said that it was pretty random as hell when they went to OSIT as far as who became 11 Bravos and who became 11 Charlies. The bulk, the majority, the larger percentage of individuals become 11 Bravos, and then a smaller percentage become 11 Charlies. But like, I remember like there was one guy, he was like, oh yeah, we were all standing in formation, and they were like, from here all the way over, move over this way. You guys are gonna be 11 Bravos. The rest of you guys, you're 11 Charlies. And that was it. And he's kind of like processed them to be Bravos and Charlies. Other people I've heard too, they kind of went alphabetical and they were like, hey, from this last name to this last name, I need you guys to come over here. You guys are Bravos, you guys are Charlies. So it's random as hell, right? From everybody I've ever talked to. There's nothing you can do to kind of improve your chances, nothing. But your chances are still pretty good because the higher percentage of people become Bravos. Hopefully that helps. Trying to get a waiver, a criminal waiver. Do recommendations work? Waivers are tricky, man. People ask me opinions on waivers and recommendations and tips and all that stuff like that. Waivers are super tricky. Sometimes you might, be in the same situation as someone else, right? But you guys are in different parts of the world, different parts of the United States, whatever. And one person will get that waiver and you won't. And it just happened to be because at that location, they were really desperate for people in that MOS, so they kind of looked past your stuff and were like, yeah, sure, he's good enough to come in, we can fill those slots. Where another location, they, were pretty good on their quotas and all that kind of stuff, so they're being really strict on it. Waivers are really tricky. There's no set good answer, I don't feel like, for any good tips to help you with waivers. It's really a coin toss, I feel like, a lot of times. Do you ever throw grenades again after basic? Rarely. It's not a very common thing. I think after basic, I think we did 1 or 2 grenade ranges in the 10 years I was in. So it's a pretty rare thing. It probably also depends on our unit. Maybe it's a more active thing, like with like infantry units and certain things like that. But yeah, I think maybe like once or twice. I think only threw maybe like 1 more grenade, and the other one I was like providing ammo for it. But it's not a very common thing after basic training to do much with grenades. Chris, what are some of the craziest pranks you've done or heard of when it comes to breaking in the fresh privates to the new unit? I don't think they're too crazy kind of a thing. I mean, I always loved the exhaust samples. We've gotten a couple people with exhaust samples where they going around with like a trash bag and they put it over the muffler or around the muffler or the exhaust system of the whatever vehicle it was, and going around with this bag and they rode on it and stuff like that, and they're trying to find out where they have to turn it in. That was always fun. I think we've done the blinker fluid one where we tried to go talk to the mechanics to ask for blinker fluid. I don't remember what some of the other ones were. There's quite a few, I'm sure, but I don't remember all of them. How are positions in formation determined? What do you mean positions? Usually you go in order of rank. A lot of times you'll have obviously like the squad leader or the section sergeant at the very end of the the rank. So if you're looking at it, like say if you were at the platoon sergeant's position, which would be looking at the platoon, then the far left person is the section sergeant or the squad leader for that platoon, depending on how they're broke down. And then the person next to that one is usually the second in command. So whoever their person's team leader is or squad leader is there, and then from there it usually goes in order of rank. Most times, so maybe your specialists and your PFCs and whatever, all the way down to your lowest ranking soldier on the very far right. So usually your soldiers on the very far right a lot of times are your lowest ranking soldiers in the formation.